happen. So here is this blue-haired freak, Rosa DeLauro, and she's watching the video. You'll get to hear from this man-boy lady about what happened, and then you'll get the reaction, the emotional reaction from Representative Rosa DeLauro from Connecticut.
They pulled a piece of plastic the size of a nickel out of my eye. They said I had shards of metal, glass, and plastic all throughout my eye and behind my eye and in my skull. And they also said that I had a piece of shrapnel metal about a few millimeters away from my carotid artery. And they said it was a miracle I survived, because if it got any closer, if it hit that, I would have died that night.
Totally blind right now? You see nothing out of the eye?
Nothing out of this eye. Yeah, it's black.
What are the words that can be said that a 21-year-old youngster is shot?
Youngster?
With a rubber bullet that pierces his eye because at the back of it is blind. This child is blind.
Child?
For the rest of his life. Why? There is no reason for this kind of cruelty. There isn't. Go home, ICE. You don't belong in our communities. You don't belong terrorizing our communities. You don't belong shooting youngsters in the eye and causing them to be blind for the rest of their lives.
Where do you cut off youngster, child? Those terms, youngster or child, I would think the cutoff point for that is probably 16. 16. I think once you turn 17, first of all, if you were 17 and someone called you a youngster, you'd probably be like, what? Or a child? Like, you're starting to come into your own, you're feeling that step into adulthood. It's ridiculous. You'd be like, get out of here, child. The guy's 21. Whatever he is, a girl or a guy. And then it hit my eye. The vocal fry. Hi, this is Anthony Cumia.
Hello, I'm Gavin McInnes.
And together we're Compound Censored.
And we would like you to subscribe with this deal using this promo code right below me right now.
Do it, because it's very entertaining. Voice. Child. You're 21. When I would get pulled over driving when I was 21 years old, the cop didn't treat me like a child. He wasn't like, well, get your car home, youngster. You're an adult at that age. When you see these cops pull people over and they ask their age and they say they're 21, and then they have some problem. They say, step out of the vehicle. You're under arrest. And they go, I'm calling my mother. And the cop goes, you're an adult. It doesn't matter. Or the mother shows up and says to the cop, what happened? And the cop goes, I don't have to tell you. Your son or daughter here, they're 21 years old. They are adults. I don't have to tell you what happened. But she's talking like, this little kid with one of those big lollipops. Hey, what's going on here? And then the cop just goes, wow, bam! Fires right into the youngster's eye. They're so full of shit. They're so full of shit in everything they do. And there are no words. She goes, no words. Why is this happening? Because he showed up to a riot. That's what it is. Show up to a riot, you may get injured. Should be a little warning label. Riots may be hazardous to your health. Riots may affect eyesight. Riots may affect your testicles. The warning. Doctors have said, but they don't, they think they're so right. that the possibility that anything could happen to them is inconceivable. And if it does happen, if that 1 in a billion chance that it does happen, it is absolutely not their fault, and it is the fault of whoever they're pointing at the moment. Unbelievable. Little celebrity news. Of course, James Cameron has moved his family to New Zealand. He's moved his family to New Zealand. Let's hear why. I want to hear some reasons why James Cameron, because he said the United States is just too crazy. The U.S. is too crazy right now, and I want to see what he has deemed crazy in the U.S. that made him move all the way to the southern hemisphere, New Zealand.
They already had a 98% vaccination rate. This is why I love New Zealand. People there are, for the most part, sane, as opposed to the United States, where you had a 62% vaccination rate, and that's going down, going the wrong direction. Are you kidding me? Where would you rather live? Oh, right. A place that actually believes in science and is sane, and where people can work together cohesively to a common goal, or a place where everybody's at each other's throats, extremely polarized, turning its back on science,
each other's throats,
and basically would be in utter disarray if another pandemic appears.
Well, look, I mean, United States is a fantastic place to live, but New Zealand is just stunningly beautiful.
I'm not there for the scenery. I'm there for the sanity. So they already had a...
There for the sanity. I did a little research. This is hilarious. This is really hilarious. What would you think the black population of New Zealand is? What would you imagine the black population of New Zealand is? The place where James Cameron sees it as sanity, where we can work together and not be at each other's throats and point 0.3% are of any type of African heritage and descent. 0.3%. That is astounding. That is astounding. It's I'm trying to put this in some kind of perspective. 0.3%. 30,000 would be 10,000. Is that 10,000? Is that one out of every 10,000 people? 0.3% of New Zealand. And it only goes up to a real low number when they include Middle Eastern people and Hispanic, Latino people. It only goes up, I think, to 0.9% or something. Yeah, I bet it is sane in New Zealand. I bet you can work with each other and not be at each other's throats. It's called homogeny. You know, it's a common people, a common interest, a common culture, a common morality and ideology. Must be nice. Must be nice. I bet James Cameron doesn't go around down there trying to do the opposite of everything that New Zealanders do and hold dear. I'm sure James Cameron isn't trying to cancel New Zealanders' culture. Do you think James Cameron is out there advocating to rip down statues of the various sheep of New Zealand. It's all I know what they do. I know two things about New Zealand. It was a great place to film the Lord of the Rings movies, and sheep. Other than that, I couldn't tell you. And now today I learned that they are 0.3% African. That's it for the population. And James Cameron talks about what a great place it is. When will they realize it's not just a coincidence that every wonderful place to live that has a great peaceful society, constructive, innovative, and they just happen to not have many black people in their societies. And somehow it's a coincidence every single place you go. So I'm going to go on record as saying James Cameron left the United States to get away from black people. That's all I could say. That is all I can say. He's a racist. You ever see Titanic? How many black people are in there? How many black people in Titanic? What a racist not to cast at least half the cast, make them black. But no, he got away from black people, went to New Zealand. Oh, dally dooley. Here's a black woman. Here's a black woman that's tired of the discomfort of being around white people. I didn't know this. I didn't know that black people, especially women, because it's women, have this discomfort with white people. Really? And ask them why that would be. It would be these weird little, very vague dog whistle thing, or, the way they say good morning seems condescending, or this or that. All these things that you can't possibly prove. All these things that a normal person would just think is being cordial, being a pleasant member of society, helping, being a helpful person. They see it as annoying and uncomfortable living around that. Now, if we turn around and say we're uncomfortable around black women, we kind of have valid reasons. They're launching condiments and cups and napkins and the cash register across the counter at a fast food place. That's pretty good. 15 of them are walking out on a bill and throwing at the waitstaff at the same time. That's pretty good. They're just walking into a store and stealing clothing. And then when they try to stop them, they're yelling at them and threatening them with weapons. That's uncomfortable. I could see that. A lot more uncomfortable than, I don't know. She gave me a compliment and I just didn't. Made me uncomfortable. So let's hear it from this black woman here. She's tired of the discomfort of being around black. Oh, not tired of the hair. Not tired of the fake red wig that she's got on her head. Let's listen.
I just came back from the grocery store and running a couple errands, and I just want to say I am tired of the discomfort that comes from being around white people in this American environment. I'm tired of it, and I'm ready to be somewhere else. I just came back.
Oblige her. She's ready to be somewhere else. Where? I would love to get answers from this beast. Where? I want to be somewhere else. Please. Tell me where. First tell me just so I could book the ticket, the plane ticket. But I'm also very curious as to where she thinks she could go where she, as a black woman, would be better off than she is here in the United States of America, where she wouldn't feel this discomfort because there's these terrible white people around. Somalia? You want to go there? Plenty of black people, no white people. And the only discomfort would be walking around on rubble with your bare feet, eating dog and perhaps the chance of being raped every minute of the day. Guess you got to weigh that out. Good with the bad, you know? Risk reward. Sorry, I never check my phone during the show unless I'm looking for some info. But drinking Walmart wine, yes. Yes, I know. I'm not drinking it. I'm done. I just wanted to see if the propane company had gotten in touch with me. So far, no. So far, I'm going to be freezing this weekend if they don't get their in line. I might have to jack one of their trucks, go to one of the propane little outlets that they have, and just take a propane truck. Itchy. Where was I? What the fuck was I talking about? Look at me. I get all distracty. I might have been done with that anyway. This is another celebrity. Getting a little celebrity news here. Jane Fonda, piece of liberal, old, out of touch, entitled Hollywood twat. Hanoi Jane, they used to call her. Hanoi Jane, which was because she went over to Hanoi during the Vietnam War and sat all comfy cozy right there on a North Vietnamese anti-aircraft battery, which was used effectively and cost the lives of many airmen over North Vietnam, and caused many others to be taken prisoner and treated like you couldn't even imagine at the old Hanoi Hilton POW camp. So people don't like this woman anyway. In the first place, they can't stand this woman. Anyone with a hint of patriotism, love of country, hatred of this shit that the left is doing to this country these days, you already hate her. So I'm not, converting anybody. But here she is lying, just more lies. Every single one of these, the politicians, the mass media, the Hollywood, they are just liars. And here she is lying about ICE and what they're doing.
If the government is not meeting the needs of its people, there's something wrong, right? We're seeing things happen that have never happened before. This isn't like it was in the 40s and 50s. This is authoritarianism has made its way into every single nook and cranny of our government. Mm-hmm. They are kidnapping people. They are illegally deporting American citizens.
Going into American citizens' homes without warrants.
What? Minneapolis, where they shot Miss Good. They're shooting people. They're blinding people. All kinds of really, really bad things are happening. And it's not a question of right or left. I don't care what party you belong to. It's
right
a
or
question
wrong?
of right or wrong, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I think lines are being crossed, and it's enough.
Oh, yeah. They're yelling in the audience. They're shooting people. You see the way they present their little scenarios? Anyway, let's say you're a reasonably intelligent person, but you've been locked in a vault for a few years. And you come out and you bump into Jane Fonda and you go, what's been happening? What's been happening in the world and in the country? I've been locked in a vault. And she tells you what she just told you about ICE, and that you'd be like, oh my God, what? It's insane. I know it's insane. The government. Meanwhile, after you're out of the vault, you've spoken with Jane Fonda, and then you walk around and see what's going on. You go, wait, they're not shooting people. The way she sounded, I thought they were just walking around and shooting people. But they're shooting people that are endangering their lives. One person, by the way, they shot a woman who arguably, at the very least, was trying to do harm to a police officer. That's the way the officer perceived it and acted accordingly. And then blinded someone with less lethal ammunition during the course of a riot that they were trying to disperse. And then you'd think, why did Jane Fonda just make it sound like they were just shooting people? Now I'm going to check into this, that they're deporting American citizens. This sounds like some authoritarian dystopian future that I've woken up from, getting out of my vault. And then you go around and you can't find a single case of an American citizen being deported. Not a one. And you go, Jane Fonda, that lying. But that's what they do. They lie. And they pump out these scenarios, and the dummies who put any credence whatsoever in what these idiots are saying, they believe it. And they told two friends, and so on and so on. And people end up committing violent acts against ICE or against politicians or against conservative speakers because they are being told it. And this is this existential threat to America. And it's a threat to you. It's a threat to democracy. We need to do something. And then the weak-minded, malleable mental patients pick up a gun and start shooting people. But it's all based on what these idiots like Jane Fonda and company are saying, what nonsense they're spreading around. Oh, do I hate that piece of shit. Now, the beginning of Barbarella. It's the only place I accept that I will watch Jane Fonda without sheer hatred and disdain is the slow motion opening sequence of space woman Barbarella taking her spacesuit off and being completely naked, just covered by a couple of words on the screen. Yep, that's it. Other than that, she could go f*** herself. Go fuck yourself. Since we're on Hollywood, I'll kind of go off topic here with the outrage of ICE and the celebrities and the news and Don Lemon, and talk a little more. I've brought it up briefly, and I'll bring it up briefly again. The Starfleet Academy show. This is terrible. This is just terrible. Star Trek fan, the original series, one of my favorite shows. To this day, I can put on an episode and I'll watch it and still enjoy it. They're interesting. They're funny. You know, the acting, Shatner's acting, is great. And then the various other projects over the course of the years. The movies, some amazing, some unbelievably bad. Next Generation, their movies, again, some good, some incredibly bad. And then the TV shows, Enterprise, Voyager, Deep Space Nine. There were all these other projects, and all within the Star Trek universe. Some of them okay, some of them had some good episodes and bad episodes. It's what it is. But they went full blast into the realm of just monkey shit. This is Paramount Pictures flinging hot, runny monkey at your eyeballs. That's what Starfleet Academy is. And it's all the usual nonsense. The lesbians, the fat black women, dykes, the gay guys, the smart as a whip fat black women. It's got it all. And it's got like a head muckety muck woman, like this, it's supposed to be like a Captain Kirk type. And she sits in the captain's chair with her feet up on the chair, curled up with a book. Anthony, why would something like that? Who cares? Why would something like that annoy you? Who cares? It's a stupid show. It's not worth your time to even, perhaps. But I see it as a bigger issue. Like anything that people tell me, why let it bother you? Who cares? It's a show. It's going to be canceled. Yeah, I see it as a bigger issue. I see it as what's going on in Hollywood. This brainwashing machine in there. And then trying to drive it down your throats and make it mainstream. So if you enjoyed that clip,
then subscribe to Compound Censored using this promo code.